Hello, good morning and welcome to this week's staff brief. I'm Paul Robinson. I'm a Chief Executive here at Sherwood, and with me today I have Craig Short, Audit Improvement Officer, Ian Ferris, Tobacco Dependency Service Team Leader, Kerry Bosworth, Freedom to Speak Up Guardian, and we're hoping to be joined by Cheryl Fagan, our out of hours matron, and Claire Knight, our night team leader. They're having a few technical problems right now, so we're hoping that they are able to join us. And following a few of sort of general updates from me, we'll be covering off our Fitness for All challenge, the out of hours, the team's new matron if Cheryl and Claire get on the call. Stoptober, we mentioned that last week, and Ian will be able to give us some ideas how we can access support during October. And October is also Freedom to Speak Up month, and Kerry will be talking about that. Okay, so I'll start off with some more general updates. And of course, since last Thursday, we've been in critical incident. So thank you to everyone for your efforts over the past few days while we've been working to cope with the immense pressures that we've been under. Right now, we remain in critical incident, and that's regularly reviewed. So please ensure that you keep updated as we go, and regular communications are being made each day as we make that decision. We're asking you to continue to keep Nerve Centre updated, please, and make sure TTOs are done early and transport is booked and patients are made ready to leave. It's important, of course, to look after yourself, so taking regular rest breaks, looking out for yourself and your colleagues. And just to reiterate, thank you so much for all the hard work and commitment you continue to show to the trust and our patients, and keeping patients safe. Okay, thank you. So flu and COVID vaccinations. So flu vaccinations are now available for all colleagues. They arrived last week and they're out there. We're encouraging each and every one of you to help protect yourself and others by getting the flu vaccination and the COVID booster. And as you can see on screen, the flu vaccination clinics that are planned for the rest of this month. So for this week, the team will be in the corridor near Trust headquarters at Kings Mill Hospital, and that's today until 3 o'clock, and again from tomorrow morning at 9:30 until 3 in the afternoon. On Thursday, the team will be by the lifts on level 1, again from the hours of 9:30 to 3, and on Friday by the lifts on level 2, both at Kings Mill. Colleagues at Mansfield Hospital can receive the vaccines between 9:30 and 11:30 on the 14th of October in the resource room, and there'll be a clinic for Newark colleagues on the 31st of October by the Eastwood Centre, and that is between 12:30 and 3. All the details and more are on screen. Colleagues can also receive flu jab by dropping into the vaccination hub where they can receive your COVID vaccination booster and the flu jab at the same time, if that's what you prefer. So the list of vaccination clinics that we just saw on screen can be found in the bulletin, and we'll continue to share in the bulletin and also on the Facebook page. So I mentioned COVID boosters. As we've mentioned a couple of times now, you can drop into the hub or pre-book your appointments to get COVID boosters, and we can co-administer the flu jab, as we've mentioned. So the vaccine services team will be operating from the vaccination hub at Kings Mill Hospital from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the evening. That's Monday to Friday, and on Saturdays between 8 AM and 2 PM. And drop-ins you can drop in for your vaccination up to 6:45 during those times on Mondays to Thursdays. Drop in on a Friday until 4 PM, and then between 10 and 1 on Saturdays. All you'll need to do is to bring your ID badge to your vaccination appointments, and that'll confirm your eligibility as members of staff. Okay, so lots of things happening this month. I mentioned that it's Stoptober, Freedom to Speak Up month. We've got the Fitness for All challenge. Gina Robinson has put in the chat that don't forget it's Cybersecurity Month too. So shout out for Cybersecurity Month. It's also the month that our National Staff Survey begins. So this year's National Staff Survey is live, and the survey you probably find it in your email inbox, and it's linked. The email will be in the inbox that is linked to your ESR account. So please check your ESR, your inboxes, and look in your junk inbox if you can't see something. I think it comes from an address that's called Staff Survey 2022. So it's really easy to spot if it's in there. I know not all colleagues receive their staff survey by email. There's some teams with paper copies, and they're being distributed via the line management arrangements. So it should be on with you already or very soon. So as you know, we feel it's really important that everyone has their say, and that all colleagues take the opportunity that this presents to have your voice, and your voice really does matter. We really do take on board and listen to the comments that you make within the staff survey. You've heard me say before that the survey is completely anonymous. The feedback we receive is themed, and we have no knowledge of who has said what. For any questions or queries, please contact Vicky Malia, and that's a nhs.net account for email, vicky.malia@nhs.net. Couple of things happening this week and next week. There are culture collaborative sessions will be held on Friday the 7th. That's this Friday between 11 AM and 12 midday, and that'll be led by Vicky Malia, who I've just mentioned is the point of contact for staff survey. So Vicky's the head of culture and engagement here at the Trust, and she'll be joined by Anne Futrell, who's an improvement lead. In the session we'll be exploring the issues that you'll face around implementation and improvement initiatives, and thinking of ways how we can minimise or remove those barriers whilst we maximise the opportunities for improvement. And you'll be able to learn about things that are important to them, share experiences, work together and help improve colleagues' experiences. So please join that session if you're able. That's on Friday the 7th. Also on Friday the 7th is our Excellence Awards ceremony. So hopefully you will have seen the shortlisted nominees in this year's awards. The announcement is on the bulletin, or it's in the intranet page for the full list. Please have a look at that. And we're looking forward to seeing you all at this year's award ceremony, which is being held virtually and starts on Friday at 7 PM. So further information on how to join the event and watch live will be coming very soon. And again, I'd like to thank everyone who's taken the time and effort to nominate colleagues this year. We're really grateful for that, and we're looking forward to Friday to celebrate the winners. Next Monday, the 10th of October, is World Mental Health Day. We're asking colleagues to show their support by wearing something green. And please share any photos of yourself or your team on Facebook or Twitter. The bulletin this week will have more information. So lots of things happening, lots of things this week and as we go through the month. And I'll come to look at it and turn to my guests today, who will also be talking about events that are happening through this month. And I'll first ask Craig. Hi, Craig. Fitness for All challenge. We're all waited with bated breath to see how far we got around the globe, and indeed whether which way we're going, eastward, westward, north or south. So over to you. Thank you.
Thanks. Hopefully I won't disappoint you then, Paul, when I get to that point in my slides. So afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having me back. So I'm just going to try and share my slides now. Hopefully there's just a few to take you through. Well, that looks like it's working for me. So again, we ran a Fitness for All challenge in September. So I'm here today to tell you who's won and give you some of the highlights around what we achieved as a trust during the month. So first of all, I wanted to say a few thank yous to people. So everyone who logged their steps, so it seemed like it captured people's imagination. We changed the currency this time round. So normally in the past we've asked for kilometres. from people in terms of whether they were cycling, walking, running, canoeing, whatever they were doing. This time we moved it to steps because we felt that gave everybody, whether they were logging steps during their working day or whether they were going for walks outside of work, etc., it seemed more inclusive to do it that way. So it looked like everybody's got on board with that. Massive thank you to Clinical Illustration and Mark Torrey, who puts up with me going back to him all the time and asking him to make changes to the posters that we produce or that he produces for us. So fantastic. And hopefully you've seen these posters around the trust this time. We've managed to, with a help of the comms team, we've managed to actually get them up around the trust. And we've shared posters with the division so that they can actually put them up in their staff areas and use the QR codes to aid participation. So hopefully people have liked that. It'd be really good to get some feedback from people, how they felt it went with that change. But let's move on to some of the kind of high level information that we've got. So again, still there's this overall focus on well-being for us. So really important where you can to take a break, whether that be a walk around the perimeter of the hospital, whether it be a walk outside of work, whatever it is, getting exercise is really good. It's proven that it helps your mental health as well as your physical health. And obviously in the times we're in, we really need to be focusing and taking time for ourselves where we can and looking after ourselves. So again, we still use the Sherwood Forest virtual exercise group on Facebook. So still, if you're not a member already, please join it and share your endeavours around exercise. So really good space. Lots of people have joined. The particular winning division clearly went on a recruitment drive looking at the numbers. So I think we had 777 was the highest number. We've had a couple of people leave in the month, but we had 777 people. And to think when we started in the first 6 months, we had about 250 people. So it's grown and it's still providing a function and a support for people. So please, if you can, go on there. As I said, the focus was on logging steps. We've tried to make it as simple as we can for people. And obviously the winning division that we're going to announce in a second would be the one who clocked up the most steps. So the winning division, and it's nice that we've actually got a new winning division compared to some of the previous challenge, was urgent emergency care. So fantastic, well done to them. They accumulated 12,342,544 steps in the month of September, which is just amazing, especially when you see that in the context of what everybody else managed. So in second place, one of our previous winners, Women's and Children's, who came around 3 million steps behind them, and then corporate division, punching above our weight, I'd like to think a little bit there, coming in third place. So really fantastic effort, and I have the trophy. So I've been down to theatres this morning and pinched the trophy back from surgery division. It's a bit dusty, so I'm going to have to insist on people keeping an eye on it in future. And then the other thing that we asked people to collect during the month, using some of the hierarchy in our system that we use, was where people were working. So it's no surprise, I guess, with emergency and urgent care winning, that the area of the trust or ward area, etc., that recorded the most steps was actually ED Majors. So well done to them. 6.5 million steps. Obviously shows how busy they've been. And then Ward 25, always there. Massive champions of the challenges that we run. Really good engagement from them. And then some more areas from urgent emergency care as well, EAU and ED minors as well. But fabulous engagement, and I really appreciate all the support that people are giving these challenges and getting involved with. We would normally ask for people to record their individual efforts, but because we were trying to make it simple, we didn't ask for any email addresses or anything this time round. But I wanted to recognise a couple of people this month for their engagement. So Vicky is new to the group and she posted 8 times during the month on the Facebook group. So thank you, Vicky. There will be a certificate coming your way to mark your achievement and your support of the group. I know you've been very vocal in encouraging others as well to participate. So thank you for that. Really appreciate it. And then the second thing was for the most reacted post on. So which person managed to get the biggest reaction, the most comments, etc. And that was Ari, who's one of our anaesthetists at the trust. Now, I'm hoping he doesn't mind me showing this picture. Ari ran the Robin Hood half marathon on the 25th of September. This was him at the finish line. So there's quite a few people from the trust who ran it, but this was Ari's picture of him, and congratulations to him. It's a great effort having run that event a few times. It's not easy. It's quite hilly in places. So well done to him. And then obviously he got the recognition he deserved for his efforts. So fantastic. So just some of the high level figures. So as I said earlier, we logged 32 million steps. When you calculate that in miles, that's what, 14,000 miles, just over, walked during the whole month, or walked, run, however you log your steps. And that was across 1,716 efforts logged. So some of those, I know some people were logging bulk, so that isn't every single time that people recorded did their steps. That's not, that's still a good effort. And on the Facebook group, we had at least 135 posts across the month as well. And so on to the bit that you were looking forward to, Paul. So anyone want to hazard a guess? Do you want to guess how far we got this time, Paul, with that at all?
The moon?
The moon. I wish. So it's two journeys basically. So from Sutton we made it to the Sydney Opera House, and then from there we went up to Tokyo. If we'd have kept going round, we would have ended up in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I didn't fancy that. So fantastic.
And it is steps after all, not swimming.
Exactly,
so,
no swimming. So yeah, we'd be drowning by now. But this shows what a monumental effort I think it was. If you put this into the context of this, how long does it take to walk there? I don't know. I know it takes a long time to fly there, but I can imagine we'd be walking for months and months if we did it. But just again at the end, thank you to everybody who's participated, and I will be arranging with a representative from Urgent Emergency Care to deliver your trophy and your certificate to mark your fantastic achievement. So thank you to everybody. That's the end of my slides. Thank you, Paul.
Great, thank you. Just leave that on. It feels that Urgent Emergency Care with such an amazing month. Probably walked to Sydney Opera House themselves, and the rest of us just got to Tokyo.
Yeah.
That's incredible. 12 million, incredible. So well done to them. Welcome to Vicky and Ari as well for getting involved and encouraging others to also get involved. Thank you very much. And we've had a comment and about how incredible that is. So thank you whoever posted that. So thank you, Craig. Thank you, and we'll see you again next month, no doubt, where we'll be with bated breath trying to understand if women's and children's can reclaim that crown from UEC over the next month.
Thanks.
So thank you. Okay, so I can see on my screen that we've been joined by Cheryl and Claire.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Sorry.
Good morning. I'm so pleased that you were able to join us. I did give you the introduction that you'll be talking about the new matron for Out of Hours. That's yourself, Cheryl. So I'll hand straight over to you, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I think you're on mute.
Sorry about that. I will just start off with just saying a little bit about what hospital out of hours is. So 73% of the working week is actually classed as out of hours, which is a huge amount of our week within the trust. And we're a team that supports doctors and nurses to deliver the best care possible to our patients. So we cover currently all adult inpatient areas across medicine, surgery and orthopaedics. We don't currently cover maternity, obs and gynae and paediatrics. However, if anybody ever needs our support, we will go out and give our guidance and point people in the right direction. So out of hours works like the most vulnerable time of the working week as well, 3 o'clock in the morning when you don't have your big senior decision makers around, you've got your teams on the ward, and we act as like this fountain of knowledge, put people in the right direction, giving resources, but also making sure that the patients get the right care by the right person at the right time. So Currently, we are quite a small team. There's only 6 hospital out of hours practitioners and 3 clinical support workers. However, we support, we join the wider team. So we work alongside the junior doctors that are covering all inpatient areas. We work alongside all the nurses on the wards. We support urgent and emergency care if anything is needed down on EAU or in ED. So we're pretty much like a jack of all trades, really. If you need us, we're there, really. So in 2000, I'll do a little bit of the history of it. So in 2017, we introduced Nerve Centre as our way of track and trigger system so that we can help get the right person to the patient at the right time. So it acts as a bleep filtering system. So the nurses on the wards can access the team quicker by automatically escalating patients to us or putting on a task. So they're not waiting hours on the phone, bleeping, waiting for people to come back, but you're also freeing up the person who's also receiving the bleep. So that would be ourselves and the doctors. So we kind of act like an in-between person where the nurses will shout up to us to say what they want, and we will then give it to the correct doctor within the team with the skills that we think would fit with that job. So we look at all the jobs that come through and we prioritise them to help support patient care and to reduce delays in care while we're on shift. So going forward, we have just created the new matrons post, which is obviously my job, and this is to help kind of get a little bit more publicity about the team. Considering we're here 73% of the working week, you generally don't see us if you work 9 till 5, Monday to Friday, and probably have very little knowledge about what we do. And we need to kind of create that networking, that collaborative working, because it's all about the patient. And actually, if we can get that understanding of the day team and they can have an understanding of how the night team work to make sure that the patients are getting the correct treatment and the right level of care overnight, the patient will have a much better experience. It will also improve patient safety and delays in cares. So we are trying to look at how we can improve the service. It was a game changer when Nerve Centre came to us. We were able to look at how busy the hospital was, to look at how our areas of that were pressured. And from over the last 5 years, from using part of the data that we have gathered from Nerve Centre, we have absolutely uplifted all areas of doctor cover within medicine, surgery and orthopaedics, which is great. We realised that actually there was a need for this extra support and putting in the right level as well. You need to make sure that you're tailoring it if you've got really sick patients, that you have the right level of registrars around. So I would like to now make this team outstanding and push it forward, and I need the help of the hospital. The wards will use us to look after the patients, and we need to have your feedback. I'm listening to you, and I want to create a service that's outstanding, giving the best care, that the patients have the best experience, but also that the nurses and the doctors are getting the support that they need in quite a vulnerable time of the working week. Since I've been in post, which has only been about 6 weeks, I've created a network between Nottingham. So they currently use Nerve Centre as a track and trigger system, but their team is called Hospital 24. And we're looking at how we can support each other going forward. The issues that we have in this hospital, in this trust, are definitely the issues they have there, and how we can kind of support each other. And a lot of the doctors do the training between the two hospitals, so it should streamline when they move from Nottingham NUH to Kingsmill Hospital, that it's easy for them to pick up the system and to run with it, but also that we can start benchmarking, so we can get real meaningful data to prove that we are doing what we should be doing, that the patients are receiving the best care possible. I'm also looking at how we can upskill the nursing team to deliver better care as well. So we're kind of looking at how we can go down like the enhanced clinical practitioner route, getting assessment of physical examination and consultation course, which we're currently releasing 2 of our members of the team from January. We're non-medical prescribing and maybe chest x-ray review, which will help when we're delivering care to the patients overnight. And I think that is everything from the team at the moment. I think it was quite a lot of information there.
Well, thanks, Cheryl. That there was a lot of information in there, but that was a really good sort of summary of the role of the out of hours team. I hadn't realised that 73% of the working week is out of hours. That's something I'd not got fixed in my mind. So thank you for sharing that. And you know, and that you didn't use this phrase, but it felt like that you were describing that you were the glue that holds all this together in the 73% of time of the week. So incredibly important team, and you know, we're grateful for the way you've described that, and grateful for how you've helped patients and have remain patient focused in the way you've described that, and the team ethos. I noticed that you've got your colleague Claire Knight with us. Is there anything that you want to add, Claire?
No, I think she's pretty well covered it. You know, I mean, like she said, we're jack of all trades. We help the staff and to help them give the patients the best care we can with, like I say, the big support of. Sorry, my brain's gone. We need to support the doctors as well, because we get a lot of F1 junior doctors, so we're there to support them and make sure that their practice is well supervised as well, because obviously out of hours seniors aren't there to help them as much as they would be in the day. So there's a big focus on actual doctor support as well as staff, and trying to help deliver good care for patients as well. So a bit all encompassing.
Yeah, thank you. Just trying to see if we've got any questions that have come through for you. So you mentioned, Cheryl, that it's a newly created role. So how are you finding it?
I've worked for the trust for 5 years, and I've got a real passion for working with the people in here, and I've been accepted into the role with a lot of positivity. I've been given a lot of help and support in taking that next step of moving from the practitioner to the matron, and I'm really enjoying it. I've got lots of ideas, and I feel like the team and the leadership within UEC are behind me with the idea, so I feel like I'm getting a lot of support. I've just come from a secondment with Health Education England, so like the wider networking, I've got links from that role as well, so it's been able to reach out. And I think one of the key things for me is that hospital out of hours I think it's been very siloed work, that the doctors go home at 5 o'clock and then we take over, and it's creating that fluidity between the day and the night, but not just in this trust. Like I was saying, we've created the network with Nottingham, and my vision is to pull in looking at Derby and Chesterfield and creating a regional network. It's something that doesn't happen at the moment, but we can learn a lot from other trusts, and also we can support each other. And like this week with the critical incident that we declared as a trust, that was also in support of NUH and how that they were struggling, and that goes across every team really. And it's been able to, it can be quite daunting at 3 o'clock in the morning when you feel like you've got really sick patients and not much support, but being able to reach out to your colleagues, and whether they're in the trust or out the trust, to say how are you finding your night shift, is there anything that you would do differently, is great. There is only ever one of us on a night, and it's just having that support and maintaining the well-being of the smaller team of the practitioners and the clinical support workers, but also the well-being of the doctors and the junior nurses. It is daunting overnight sometimes when you feel like, am I making the right decision? Because you don't have the big senior decision makers around, you don't have the consultants and you know, your ward leaders generally, but having somebody to come say, yeah, no, I think you are doing that, you know, I think that was the right decision, and just giving them a little bit of knowledge. And I think it's great, and we want to be a real visible team as well. Even though we're small, we're out on the wards, we're in it, we're there, we're with you, you know, and we want to feel, if you're struggling, let us know. And that's why I really want to push. I need some feedback on how I have ideas on how we can improve this team, and so does our team. But it's a two-way process. I need the junior doctors to give us their feedback, and the nursing teams on the wards, but going all the way up to the ward leaders and the consultants. What can we do that would make your day better, and what can you do to make our day better? But always focusing on how we can deliver the best care to the patient. And like I said already, I want this team to be outstanding. I'm pushing that. I want us to have a name within the region that we created this, and actually we're seen as an excellent team to come and observe and how we've moved things forward.
Well, absolutely. So, and I'm sure that with your expertise and enthusiasm that you've just displayed there, and and the passion that you've got for improving your service and doing the right thing for patients and supporting your colleagues, then we'll absolutely provide the best in practice out of hours service in the region. So thank you very much, Cheryl, and thank you also to you, Claire. I haven't seen any other comments come in. I've just seen one from
EPMA. Thank you for that comment.
Yeah, so as a project, we have heavily relied on the hospital out of hours team to support implementation of EPMA. They have been fantastic with their support to the doctors and to the trust success with rolling out our new EPMA system. So shout out for you there from the EPMA team. So really fantastic. Nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. OK, thank you. We'll move over to you, Ian, please. And Stoptober.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. So good afternoon, everyone. My name's Ian Ferris, and I'm the team leader for our in-house tobacco dependency team. So I've just come on today. Paul mentioned Stoptober last week in the staff brief, but I just thought I'd come on today to again remind you about the Stoptober challenge, and that the in-house tobacco dependency team at Sherwood Forest Hospitals are here to support anyone that would like to make improvements to their health by stopping smoking. The Stoptober challenge is really simple. Quit smoking for 28 days and you're 5 times more likely to go on to quit for good. Already 2.3 million people have taken on the challenge since its launch 10 years ago in 2012, and the average smoker currently saving around between £1,900 and £2,100 a year. So obviously it's worth considering the financial benefit of quitting. But we do understand that for some people quitting isn't an option. So either it seems too difficult or it may never feel like the right time, but that doesn't mean that you still can't make improvements in the short to long term. So as a team, we could help you to do some harm reduction through some rule setting around your smoking, and just to remember really that progress is really about doing better today than you did yesterday, and that's all it is. So for any smokers who are watching the staff brief today, just a little something you might want to try if you're not really ready to take on something like the Stoptober challenge is the next time you feel like smoking, if it's possible, try and leave it another 15 minutes before you do. Within that time though, occupy yourself, and at the end of those 15 minutes, see how you're feeling. Has the craving gone? Is it less? Is it more? After 2 or 3 days of doing this, you should start to notice a feeling of a bit more control over when you are smoking and aren't smoking. And I understand as well that people, especially within a hospital setting, are smoking when they have the opportunity to. And what I would hope that some people find is that rather than rushing out to preload with nicotine on your breaks, you may decide that actually I could wait until my next break. So feel free to try that on your day to day. For anyone that wants to take on the Stoptober challenge, here's an overview, a really brief overview of what you can expect from your local provider. So your local stop smoking service, which we are more than happy as a team to provide you a referral to, will supply all nicotine replacement therapy, and that can include dual therapy, which is using, say, patches and a mouth spray at the same time. They will all be provided for up to 12 weeks completely free of charge. And at the moment, the majority of local providers are sending that through the post. There are a few exceptions in where some providers in certain districts are asking you to collect from a local pharmacy, but it's still really easy to access. All the behavioural support is provided over the telephone. And again, some services are offering limited face-to-face appointments for those people who really respond well to that face-to-face interaction. And our tobacco dependency service can provide a referral, as I've just mentioned, or we're more than happy if you want to call us before you make the jump, before you make the leap to self-refer. If you want to talk to any of us about that, so you can get an overview, what might happen, how does it work, when will you be contacted? We're more than happy to have a chat with you about that. And also to add, and Paul mentioned this again last week, Your initial assessment with the Stop Smoking services takes around 30 minutes, and it's within your staff policy to be able to do that in work time for up to 30 minutes with no loss of pay. So if you'd like to give the Stoptober challenge a go, or you'd like some information on harm reduction, how to make improvements, how to perhaps even get yourself to the point where you feel in a better shape psychologically to go on and quit, please contact us on extension 6066. You can speak to us directly, or you can leave us a voicemail. I must add as well that any inquiries treated in the strictest of confidence. The voicemail is a confidential voicemail, only we have access to that. Or feel free to contact myself at ian.ferris1@nhs.net. And yeah, let me know if there's anything we can do. If you just want to have a chat, please don't hesitate, get in touch and let us know. And that's me. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Very, very clear. Some very practical help there about the cravings and how to manage them, and feeling. I guess it's a feeling of exercising some control over the way that you're craving cigarettes and tobacco. So really thank you for that update. Really clear about how you can signpost and make referrals and provide that support. So thank you for that. Okay, so finally, Kerry, been waiting patiently. It's Freedom to Speak Up month. So hand over to you, and perhaps you can also tell us about your experience at the Health Service Journal Awards presentation as well.
Thanks, Paul. Yes, yes, I will do. I'll get to that bit, but remind me if I forget at the end. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me this afternoon. So my name's Kerry. I'm your Freedom to Speak Up Guardian, and I work across all of Sherwood, helping people raise concerns and all for the benefit of learning and improvement across the organisation. So October, as we've heard, is quite a busy month. We're all sort of trying to shine the light on our various themes, concerns and highlights. And actually, you know, all of these things sort of fall into a similar pot, don't they? It's about, you know, wanting to help and support our team, our colleagues, our people into doing the best job they can do, be the best person they can be, and all of this supports our trust to give best patient care to everybody. So Speak Up Month runs throughout October, and it's to continue to raise that awareness really of how important Speak Up is to us as the organisation and to you individually, to be able to have the best possible work experience. And without this information that we learn through Speak Up, you know, we can't learn and improve, and we can't give us the chance to help make your work experience better. So why use us? Why use Freedom to Speak Up? Well, we know that people have barriers in their workplace. Not everybody feels comfortable going to their line manager or a senior leader. They may feel that, you know, they've had an experience before where they haven't been heard, or they don't feel that anything's been followed up, and actually they want to come out of their team, if you like, for a sort of safe, confidential conversation. And that's what Freedom to Speak Up offers you, really, that space to come along and have a chat in strictest confidence. You may want to progress something, you may not, but we're here to listen to you and hopefully give you some options and signposting. Who do you talk to? You can talk to me directly. So obviously my details are always around the trust or on the intranet site. You can email me direct, but we also have a fabulous network of champions that work amongst you. So these are our colleagues that have actually put a hand up and said, you know what, I believe in this and I want to help my team, my colleagues, you know, to speak up about what's affecting them. So they're amongst you. You can look them up on our intranet site. If you just go on the A to Z, click on F for Freedom to Speak Up, and you'll see their contact details there. And you may just want to send them an email, or you may want to bump into them if they're in your team and just have that conversation. So I'm eternally grateful to them, because they are the grassroots of Speak Up. They are people that believe in it and want to help you raise concerns. So over the past year, over 200, well, 18 months, I'd say, we've had over 200 concerns raised through Freedom to Speak Up, which has almost doubled from the previous year. So we're really glad and proud that people can actually now feel that there's trust moving forward to speak up. I don't think it means that people's, you know, having a worse experience this past year or two. I think it just means that we've provided that space and people are actually finding the confidence to actually come forward and say what's bothering them. So thank you to all those people that have come forward and shared concerns. It really does help us improve, you know, and learn really, which is what it's all about. So through October, I'm going on my usual Speak Up tour. I call it a tour because I like to get invited to places that I've never been before. There's always some nook and cranny in the organisation that I won't have visited. So if you want to hear from me, see me, get some goodies, I've got loads of pens to give away. I can get in anywhere with a pen. Please just get in touch with me or one of the champions, and they will pass that through to me. And it's about raising awareness, isn't it? It's about being alongside your local leadership and supporting that, but also just saying, you know, we are here if you do need us. So I can come anywhere, go anywhere. And I like to get my passport stamped in my little book of places that I've been. And last year I had some really lovely conversations with people and learned about the great work that people do. And like you say, it's that, you know, not knowing and not knowing how you work, what conditions you work in, how things are escalated. And it was lovely to be able to sort of listen to people and hear their experiences. So I'll be doing that. As I say, you know, please get in touch at any time. There's no need, you know, I don't need an appointment to see me. You can normally just send me a letter or gosh, come back about 20 years then, letter, email, or ring me, and we can arrange something for me to pop by. So Paul mentioned the HSJ Awards. So, you know, it's really lovely that we were shortlisted to go forward to the awards evening. So the HSJ, I tend to describe it as a bit like the Oscars for the healthcare. Oscars for healthcare, when people say what are they? So it's a really coveted award to be recognised by the HSJ. And although, you know, the experiences, you don't want to put yourself forward and have to go through these things, you know, what I had to do last week was go and share our journey of Speak Up at Sherwood to the panel. And suggest why we should win this award. And off I went, and they listened to us. And actually, it was really beneficial for me to do that, because when you write things down and do a presentation of, OK, where were we and where are we now, you suddenly realise, you know, how far we've come, how far our culture is improving. Yes, we can always do better. And that's why I'm still in a job and here to hear concerns. But it was really nice to see, you know, how much progress we've made. And that progress is down to two groups of people, really. And that's the people that have had the confidence and courage to speak up. Because without you, we wouldn't have this service and we wouldn't have been helped to share that and learn and improve. And the other group is our Free and Speak Up champions. That they're the people that are amongst you that are volunteered for this role and are there helping people gradually come forward, sometimes in very baby steps, but actually it means that they're there saying it's OK to come and have a conversation. So I was really proud to be able to talk about them at the HSJ, and who knows, we'll see if we win in November. So that's just my little overview. And as I say, please get in touch if you want any more information, or if you might be interested in becoming a champion yourself. So I always try to use these opportunities to plug for the future groups, because we know this group is an evolving group, and it'd be great to have many more people on the team doing a great job. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Kerry. Thank you. Yeah, really important that we recognise the opportunity that we have here at Sherwood to use Kerry and a team of champions in order to have a safe space to speak up, or we want to write, or even if we want to write a letter using one of the pens that Kerry distributes this month. And we've got through the month of October, and let's hope the crowning glory of Freedom to Speak Up month is an Oscar presentation in November, Kerry, for the incredible work that you and the team have been doing. So thank you for that. Okay, I'll try and cover off the questions that we've got. So firstly, 2 comments for you, Cheryl. So absolutely love your enthusiasm to be the best that we can be. Thank you. And very inspiring and passionate. Exactly the type of staff Sherwood needs and deserves. Absolutely right. A couple more questions about vaccinations. How long after a COVID infection do you have to wait for your booster or flu jab? Oh, now then, I think I'm going to have to phone a friend on this one. So if anyone can help me out on this one, I'd be very grateful, and I'll move quickly onto flu jab clinics at Newark. So a comment here that the flu jab clinic that's happening on the 31st of October is a long time off, and staff don't always work Monday. So I'm aware that that is the only clinic that is happening at Newark. But there are peer vaccinators on Minster Ward, so you can approach the peer vaccinators on Minster Ward who will be able to administer your vaccination as appropriate and as they can fit that in. So I think that covers off two of the questions that we had. I'm still hoping someone can fill me in on the COVID infection booster and vaccination question. There's a further question about mask wearing. So any news on mask wearing? We continue to keep all our infection prevention and control measures under constant review. COVID transmission rates remain constant in the community. We're still experiencing outbreaks here within our services, and for those reasons there's no change as of yet in our approach to requiring masks to be worn whilst on hospital sites. So as I said, that'll keep under constant scrutiny. Okay, so someone's helped me out. My friend has rung in, and that's around the waiting time following being in COVID positive and receiving a booster. So I'm just trying to summarise this. So it's to wait 4 weeks or 28 days if you are aged 18 or over before you access your COVID-19 booster. So I'll just publish that in the chat, and then everyone can have access to the full advice of it. 30 days after COVID, said someone. It's 28 days, 4 weeks. So thank you for responding so quickly on that. Yeah, so there's a comment in the chat about someone who is slightly, I'm thinking, very disappointed that we didn't mark Organ Donation Week. So we've been marking loads of weeks and months recently, and last week we omitted to mention that it was Organ Donation Week for the week of the 26th of September to the 2nd of October. Really sorry we didn't give a shout out there. Please be assured that the Trust is fully supportive and understands the importance and the beneficial incredible difference that organ donation makes. We do regularly note this in our board meeting. So our board meeting recently heard of a story about organ donation. It's clear that we save lives and transform lives when organ donation happens, and you can register any decision that you've got on organ donation at the NHS organ donation register. And if you choose to do so, please make sure you tell your family that what you've decided is your way forward, so they're informed when the time comes. So apologies for not mentioning that. Hopefully we've given the airtime just now to the importance and encouraging people to get registered on the donation register. But a further request to make sure that I give a shout out to the leadership support circles that are taking place every Tuesday from the 11th of October. So these are for people who lead, manage or supervise people here at Sherwood Forest. So there's a support for you and support how you support for you and support for how you support your teams. That's every Tuesday from the 11th of October between 1 o'clock and 2:15, and I'm just publishing the link for you to get involved in that. Okay, so I think I covered off all the questions. I'm just publishing further information on Organ Donation Week, and there's a video that link there on organ donation on our main Facebook page. Okay, so I think that covers off the questions that I've had. Yes, it does. Yes, so thank you. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. Thank you for those who contributed. Thank you, Kerry, Ian, Craig, Cheryl and Claire. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the information that you've shared today, all really crucial information, giving us background on how we can access support, whether that be personally or professionally, Cheryl. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for all that you're doing. I know it's really pressured times and we're in a critical incident under the intense pressure. So thank you for all that you do for keeping patients safe. And have a safe rest of the week. And I'll see you again for staff brief next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye.